What if I told you that Ripple isn't replacing the financial system? It's already sitting inside of it. The IMF, BIS, ISO, the organizations that literally define how global money moves, Ripple is sitting in the room with them, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. So in this video, we're going to touch on some new headline stories that highlights what Ripple has been doing here recently. But on the back end, this is where it's going to get interesting. We're going to go through some documentations from the IMF, BIS, and ISO. And once you see what's going on here, you will understand that Ripple is a part of the system. They are helping enhance and evolve the legacy financial system, and they've been a part of the plan for a long time. So once we get through it, you'll understand that Ripple is a bigger player than some may have you believe. So let's go ahead and get into the first news story that's going to come out of CoinDesk on April 20th, 2026, and it has to do with Ripple SBI Remit. Check it out with me. It says, new SBI Remit, which utilizes Ripple's distributed ledger technology, partners with Totori Bank to provide remittances, salary deposit services for foreign workers in Japan, bringing its total financial institution partnership to 26. We are starting to see Ripple really expand within Japan's financial system. Totori Bank is over $6 billion company. This is a big player. This isn't just another small player here. At the same time, we're seeing this information come out. Another story that comes out from Coin Bureau, check it out. It has to do with XRP and Binance. So read along with me here. It says XRP flips BNB to become the third largest crypto ledger. Volume tops 1 billion as ETF inflows hit 1.2 billion. XRP climbs 6% on the week to cross a $87.5 billion market cap, overtaking BNB as XRP ledger volume surpasses $1 billion alongside $1.2 billion in ETF inflows. So if you've been following XRP for some time and maybe you've been tracking on CoinMarketCap, we've been seeing it flipping BNB to XRP, BNB to XRP. It's been flipping back and forth. Every once in a while, we'll get Tether to switch as well. But let's go ahead and take a look at CoinMarketCap to make sure this is a true story coming out. So check it out with me. Look at your screen here. As you see, XRP is now at number 4. And as we look at the market cap here, we do see that XRP is coming in at $88 billion. And then we have BNB coming in at $84 billion. Now let's take a look at RWA and kind of see what's going on here. So this is the XRP ledger on rwa.xyz, and we can kind of see the inflows that came in here recently. And you can see that the stablecoin transfer is up 61.22% for 30 days at $1.68 billion. But what I find interesting is this chart here. If you break it down, this top purple line here, you'll see that it's Ondo short-term U.S. government bond fund. And let's take a look what's going on here. If we go back to January 1st, 2026, we see that the Ondo short-term U.S. government bond fund has $40 million or $40.7 million, if you will. But we look over here to the most recent right now, we're looking at the same one coming in at $221.8 million. That is a difference of $180.7 million just from January 1st, 2026 till April 17th, 2026. So as we look back into 2025, we know that 2025 was the year of the stablecoin. The RLUSD stablecoin really took off in the year of 2025. Now we're seeing the XRP ledger increase as well. We're seeing more money being switched over to this ledger as things are picking up. And it's no secret, as things are picking up, we have this coming from Rep. Hugh Blackwell. He is a if you check it out with me here, he's the Republican member of the North Carolina House of Representatives. So we have a member of the House of Representatives posting about what I'm about to talk about. It has to do with Hong Kong and XRP, so check it out here. So it says, XRP tax-free. Hong Kong now offers a 0% capital gains tax on XRP and crypto. Acceleration just went next level. So we have crypto getting so big that we have members of the House of Representatives talking about XRP specifically and then crypto in the broader spectrum, right? So this adoption is definitely creeping up. We're about to see a bonfire underneath the cryptocurrency. It's going to take off. It's going to explode here soon. Hey guys, while we're here, if you could hit that like button for me, it'd be very much appreciated. I do my best to keep any kind of selling to the minimal. I don't put a lot of buy my links or buy my courses or any of those things in my video. I know that's not something a lot of people like. I don't like it myself when I watch videos, so I really try to respect y'all as well by not doing that. But if y'all could hit the like button, help me out here, it'd be very much appreciated. And if you like this kind of reporting where it's just facts, no hope or fluff, consider hitting that subscribe button. It would be very much appreciated. Now let's get into this back half of this video, and as we walk through this video, I need you to understand that we're looking at the IMF, the BIS, ISO, so ISO 20022, the entity that oversees that messaging standard. And once we go through this, you will see that Ripple has been deeply connected into these organizations that are making the rules for the future here. So let's go ahead and get to the first one. This is going to come from the International Monetary Fund, which is the IMF, of course. This comes out March 15th, 2017. Check it out with me here. Right over here, this is actually Christine Lagarde. She is, at that time, she was the IMF Managing Director for the IMF. What's important to know about Christine Lagarde, she is now the president of the European Central Bank, the ECB. So she went from the IMF to the ECB. Big move. She knows what's going on. She is ushering in the fintech of the future. Now let's go ahead and get into it and check out what she was saying here. It says the IMF Managing Director welcomes establishment of high-level advisory group of fintechs. It says this group composed of highly experienced, respected leaders in the field of finance and technology and includes industry pioneers, regulators, lawyers, and academics. The group will provide advanced advice to help IMF staff deepen its understanding on fintech issues. It will work closely with the IMF's Interdepartmental Working Group on Finance and Technology, which was established in 2016 to study the economic and regulatory implications of developments in the area of finance and technology. As we roll down here, the members of high-level advisory group, high level, keep that in mind, we do see Chris Larsen himself, the executive chairman of Ripple, being a part of this, along with DTCC. We have some major connections here with Ripple just from this story alone. So if that wasn't big enough that Ripple is working with the IMF to bring fintech out for the future and help them understand it better, let's keep on going. This is going to be a PDF that's coming from the IMF in 2018, and it breaks down what Ripple is doing. And just so you know, everything that you're seeing on my screen is down in my video descriptions. I'm going to give that to you guys because I want you guys to use this research and really dive into it yourself. And especially this PDF here, if you're trying to figure out what is Ripple, what are they doing, this is 30 pages. It will be down in the description as a PDF form. But I want you to understand, if you want to dive into that, it is well worth the read, because once you get through it, you will understand how big Ripple truly is. And keep in mind, this is back in 2018 as they're still getting going here. But let me show you what we're talking about. We're going to highlight a couple of things here. We're going to move kind of quick here. So check out your screen here. This is from the IMF, and it states that Ripple transforming global payments, enabling the internet of value. But we bring it over here to page 10. He says RippleNet Advisory Board and Rulebook, Governance Advisory Board, developed commercial framework rule standards. We have members being Standard Chartered, Westpac, Santander, RBC, Bank of America, MUFG. Then we switch over here to page 14 that you will see a snapshot of our customers. Just gonna highlight a couple here for you guys here. Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, Standard Chartered, UBS. We have Westpac, Santander, of course. We have American Express. And as you can see, SBI Group and Ripple are working together side by side here. That's important to note that they're not, SBI isn't up here with everybody else. SBI is down here with Ripple. That is massive. So as we take a look at Ripple and just their connection with the IMF so far, we see it is deep and they have a strong connection with the IMF. So Ripple, again, isn't just some kind of disruptive technology company coming out of nowhere. They have been working with the major institutions to lay out this new groundwork that we're stepping into. Very important to keep in mind, and we've heard time and time again that XRP and the XRP ledger is their North Star. And we're seeing different treasury companies going live on Wall Street that are focusing just around XRP. And yet people still say XRP has no purpose. If that were the case, would these major institutions like Franklin Templeton step into XRP ETFs. No, that's not going to be the case. They're not going to waste their time on something that's going to die later on, right? But let's keep on going. Let's look at now their connection to the BIS, another, well, one of the biggest institutions out there when we talk about banking and money and finance, right? And you're going to be surprised, or maybe you won't be surprised, that you're going to see Ripple again working with now the BIS. So check it out with me. This comes from the BIS.org. This is another one of their PDFs. So check it out with me. It says Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructure, BIS, July 8th, 2024. Cross-Border Payments Interoperability and Extension Task Force Composition. As we look through the people, think about it. The chairman, Ulrich, European Central Bank. We scroll down here more, we have MasterCard, we have PayNet Malaysia, Payments Canada. Oh, look at this. We have Director of Payments and Operations of Ripple sitting there. We also have Swift here as well. We have Deutsche Bank. We have Bank of China. The list keeps going on of the connections Ripple has to these major institutions and legacy system. Okay, so if it's still not enough for you to understand how big Ripple is, we have ties with BIS. They're working with BIS, IMF. Now let's look at ISO. ISO 20022 was all the rage in 2025, as you well know if you were around for that time. And we have Ripple, again, not just working with ISO, and XRP is not compliant with ISO. It's not anything about that, but look who Ripple is working with and what boards they sit on with ISO. So check this out. This is coming from ISO20022.org, the official website. And we're going to move kind of quickly through here because there's going to be 4 different screens I need you to see to get you to understand what's really going on with them. So pay attention to this. I will move kind of fast, but again, the research is down in the description. So check it out. So this is ISO 20022, the official webpage, but it says right here, the Registration Management Group member list. As we go through, the RMG, which is the Registration Managing Group, as you'll hear it, has 43 delegations from the following member entities. Now, as you go through here, you'll see the different countries and then, of course, the different kind of companies tied to them. But we also have right here, as we roll through, we keep going. Check it out. RippleNet right here, sitting alongside with people like Swift, X9, the institution from America that actually looks over the ISO body. And we go through, MasterCard, of course, is a part of this, Euroclear, DTCC, ECB, the list keeps going, CFTC, the BIS. They are all sitting alongside Bank of England with Ripple as the Registration Management Group member list. But what is the Registration Group Management Group? The ISO 20022 Registration Management Group, RMG, is made of senior industry experts nominated by registered member entities. As we roll down here, the mission of the RMG is to ensure that the ISO 20022 is a trusted standard providing high-quality business models for exchange of information for financial services. The RMG defines the scope of necessary SEGs, we're going to touch on that here in a second, approves business justifications for new messages and allocates them to one or more SEGs. The RMG also acts as the court of appeal in case of conflicts between the RA, the TSG, the SEGs, and the organizations that want to develop ISO 20022 messages, submitting organizations. So they're a court appeal, and you have Ripple sitting on the court appeal for ISO 20022. We talked about SEG, so Payments SEG member list. Guess who's going to be on this list? You're going to get it. Member entity, company, keep that in mind. Member entity, why is it called that? As we look through here, we have Australia, Austria, Brazil, Canada, China, Finland, Germany, right? But as we keep going down here, Ripple is coming up as an entity and a company. Why are they showing up as both? If Ripple is just a company and not an entity, then how are they doing both? This is what I want you to understand. Ripple is not just another company, guys. They're sitting alongside with countries and Swift when we look at where they fall along with ISO 20022. But what is SEG? So check it out. So SEG is the Payment Standard Evaluation Group. Scope of the Payments SEG is the scope of the Payments SEG includes the messaging supporting transactions and business process related to the following non-exhaustive list of financial instruments: credit transfers, direct debits, checks. The business areas include payments and initiation, communications between ordering customers and its bank, etc., clearing and settlement, interbank transfer via correspondent banking or ACH, high value payments, low value bulk payments, RTGS, cash management between the various actors account opening and standing orders, transaction and account information, advises statements from account servicing institutions to account owners along with the processing chain. So essentially we have the ISO, IMF, BIS, Ripple, all working hand in hand to bring this new technology out. They have been laying this out since at least 2017. As you guys know, it is massive. This is a big move for Ripple, XRP, and the XRP ledger. I know people disagree with that, but the facts are facts here, guys. I understand not every institution or company is going to use the XRP ledger or the XRP token. I get that, but we just need a small percentage of that to actually show value for XRP. And if you need to understand what is ISO, check it out. So ISO is the International Organization for Standardization and brings global experts together to agree on the best way of doing things for anything from making a product to managing a process. As one of the oldest non-governmental international organizations, ISO has enabled trade and cooperation between people and companies all over the world since 1946. The international standards published by ISO serve to make lives easier and safer and better. And as we look at what's coming up, we know what ISO is, we know what IMF is, we know what BIS is. It's important to watch what they're doing. So this is going to come from the IMF as well. And this is a conference, global spillovers amid shifting policies. BIS and IMF have been really focusing on global payments. They've been trying to get ahead of this and they're working really hard right now to make it happen. So check out this here. This is going to be a conference coming up and it's coming up on April 28th, 28th through the 29th, 2026. Important to understand this here. But let's go down to the agenda. And on the agenda on session 3, I believe it was, yes, right here. Session 3, International Liquidity Session Chair. The session investigates the mechanisms of international dollar liquidity provisions and the transmission of monetary policy through cross-border capital flows. The papers analyze Federal Reserve swaps, lines, and channels through the advanced economy monetary policy spillovers in emerging markets. So at the end of the month of April 28th through the 29th, 2026, IMF is getting together to bring out these global monetary policies. They're getting together with major institutions to discuss this very thing. Massive move here. Before we wrap it up here, I need you to show you this. This is coming from ISO as well, and this is ISO Strategy 2030. Check it out. This is ISO Strategy 2030. As you pop over to page 11, it has technology, the impact of acceleration technology process. And as you go through here, I'll read it a little bit. It says, the speed of technology change, especially the growth of digital technologies, is rapidly disrupting the way consumers, businesses, and industries operate around the world. Advancements in artificial intelligence, cyber physical systems, quantum, and other technologies are helping organizations boost efficiency and productivity, create competitive advantage, and promote innovation. So we already have institutions and organizations such as ISO looking for 2030 and beyond. I'm pointing this out because this is why it's important to stay patient. It's coming. We're looking through IMF, BIS, ISO. The list goes on. We're seeing that Ripple being name by name, sitting on advisory boards. The wave will come if you stay patient, you don't get shaken out. And this is what I'm really trying to drive home here on this channel is do your research, do the education. I promise you, once you have that under your belt, you would no longer get FOMO'd in or FUD'd out of whatever project you're working because you're doing that education on that project and you truly understand the implications and the impact of that project. And when you see things like this, you probably end up buying more of it because you know that later on, if you're patient, you're not trying to rush and be a millionaire by tomorrow, you will have a payoff at some point and it'll be well worth it because at that point you've done your work, you've done the research, and you won't squander that reward. That is important to understand. I hope this video helps somebody understand the bigger implications of what Ripple truly is, especially if you're one of those people that are on the fence about Ripple. I hope that you see how massive they truly are. That's all I have for you on this video. If you could, please hit that like button. Leaving a comment down below is always super helpful. I love reading the comments down there. And please consider to subscribe to this channel if you like this type of information. Before I let you go though, take care of yourself, take care of the people around you, and become that change you want to see in the world. Thank you guys for hanging out, and I will see you on the next one.